When I first asked what happened to Finn McCool, you said that Dad had given away to a student. That was the last thing I heard.
Well, that's what I recall. I can tell you that we were in Ottawa and you were a very small baby when um, your father arranged for us to get a puppy from a family outside Ottawa, um, which became Finn McCool. And we must have continued living in that apartment in what was then called Eastview and is now called Vanier. And I was already dealing with a newborn child and then this puppy, which grew up very quickly, and I would just let him out to pee. And I got into trouble with the neighbors because what I didn't know that he was doing until they complained to me about it was that on garbage day he would rip open the garbage bags and forage for snacks, I suppose. But it was not popular in the neighborhood, and I got gears about that. So then I had to take him out when he needed to go. And I was already overwhelmed with new motherhood. And so I'm afraid I didn't get along very well with Finn McCool. But we moved to Prescott, and I, I was still having difficulty managing um, the fact that you had some issues with your legs. I had to take you to Montreal to a specialist about your bandy legs, and you had to wear those special shoes and the brace to.
I remember the brace pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and you were my focus. You were very precious to me, and I'm afraid that Finn was not a huge priority. So anyway, Peter and I built him a fenced-in run outside in the garden, and I would leave him out there, where he would howl. He didn't like being left out in the cage. Maybe it was too cold for him. I don't know. I'm afraid I did not take very good care of him. But I was the one who had to take him for walks and you know, attend to him. Um, and I think I must have made it clear to Peter that one of us was going to have to go, and that was when he got found a student. I mean, all the students at Grenville or South Grenville were essentially from the rural areas. They all lived out in the country on farms and things like that. And so Finn went out to one of these families and um, was really a much better fit in that um, environment than he was living in downtown Prescott, where I was getting used to town living. I had grown up in the country, and I'm afraid I was very badly trained. When I took Finn for walks, I didn't carry a bag to pick up his poop, but neighbors would see that he had pooped and they'd draw my attention to it, and then I'd have to go back with something to pick it up. And it was just a burden for me, looking after Finn. Um, but I was satisfied that it was the best place for Finn to go, was out to the country, where he'd be allowed to run and, poop and pee whenever he felt like it, and, he would get fed with the other dogs. So that's the story of Finn.
When you got back from Ireland, did you notice Finn was gone?
I don't recall.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to cover. You said that Dad had given Finn to Doug Givenrod.
Oh no, Doug Givenrod comes in. Um, Doug Givenrod didn't take Finn.
Well, he took one look at Tucker and knew he wasn't Finn, so why did Dad say that he gave it
Who
to
is Tucker?
the dog?
What dog?
Doug Givenrod's dog.
No, where Doug comes into this story was that he had a male Labrador called Rebel, and he had that. He took Rebel up to Manotick, where there was a bitch, a black Labrador bitch, and they were mated. and of the bitch's litter, Doug took one and Peter took one. And the one that Peter took was Mandy. And I don't remember what name Doug gave to his dog, his puppy.
You said, when I asked about Finn McCool, that Dad had sent him to Doug Givenrod's family. So this is you I'm quoting.
Do you have that on file somewhere that you can quote it back to me? Because it's not correct.
So were you lying when you said Dad gave Finn McCool to Doug Givenrod?
I didn't say that.
Yes, he did.
Well, that's what you remember me saying, but I do not remember saying it, and I certainly don't recall that that was where Finn went. There was a definite relationship with, but I'll tell you who you can ask about that, Elizabeth Givenrod.
Okay.
Prescott. Why don't you contact Elizabeth and say, does she remember her father taking Finn McCool?
Okay, well, he won't because he didn't. Well, she won't remember it.